Good morning, children. Welcome to class 11th biology once again. Children, in a previous videos, we were discussing about chapter 17, breathing and exchange of gases. Children, in this chapter, we have discussed about respiration, breathing, respiratory organs, and human respiratory system. Okay, so first of all we'll recall some important points, then we'll move forward. Okay, so respiration, that is the food is broken down with the help of oxygen. Okay, during this process oxygen is utilized by organism. It is a chemical process and in which the food is broken down and energy is released. Okay. Next, that is breathing. Breathing is a physiological process in which organism do the exchange of gases. Means inspiration and expiration occurs in the body of organism. Inspiration, that is oxygen rich air take inside the body of organism, and expiration is the carbon dioxide rich air gives out from the body of organism. Okay, after that we have discussed that the different organism have different organs for breathing, that is exchange of gases. Okay, then we have discussed about human respiratory system. I'm showing in front of you this human respiratory system, that is a pair of external nostril just found above the upper lips, then it leads to the nasal chamber, then nasal pharynx, then pharynx open into the larynx. Children, larynx, that is a sound box that help in sound production. A structure that are found there, that is epiglottis. Okay, this epiglottis prevent the entry of food into larynx. Okay, means the food will not goes into the larynx because epiglottis prevent the entry of food there. Okay, then larynx open into the trachea, that is windpipe. Then children, trachea, that is straight tube that are found in mid thoracic cavity. So trachea, that is straight tube which are found in mid thoracic cavity that open into the primary bronchi, then secondary bronchi and tertiary bronchi, then bronchioles. Okay, children, this we have discussed. Then alveoli are found, and alveoli are the site where the exchange of gases takes place. Okay, then after that conducting part and exchange part we already discussed. Then after that the mechanism of breathing, that is inspiration and expiration, we also discussed about that. After that exchange of gases. Okay, this exchange of gases, children, very important. In this you can see that alveoli are the primary sites of exchange of gases. Exchange of gases also occur between blood and tissues. Okay, means from the atmosphere the oxygen goes into the alveoli, then from alveoli it goes to the blood and blood to the tissues. This is a medium, this is the way of transmit the oxygen. Okay, you can see in the figure, first of all atmosphere. Okay, if the partial pressure of oxygen is high in the atmosphere, then it goes to the alveoli, then it reach into the blood, and after that in the end it is absorbed into the blood and it goes to the tissues. Okay, where the CO2, the carbon dioxide from tissues, it goes to the alveoli first, then from alveoli it release into the atmosphere. Okay, it release into the atmosphere. This is the exchange of gases that takes place in the alveoli, that is a part of lung. Okay, and here the oxygen and carbon dioxide gases are exchanged by simple diffusion method. Okay, clear children? Now next, that is transport of gases, that is very important regarding your exam. Transport of gases, children, how the gases are transport, like I told you, first of all the oxygen is come into the alveoli of the lung, and after that it is absorbed into the blood, and through blood it goes to the tissues. So we can say that blood is a medium for transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, a fact I want to share with you, that is 97% of oxygen that is transported by RBCs in blood, and 3% of oxygen which will be transport through plasma. Okay, we know very well children, RBC contain a red pigment, that is hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin are responsible for transport of oxygen in the body. Okay, in male the hemoglobin quantity is 12 to 16 gram per 100 ml of blood, while in female it is 11.5 gram to 14 gram per 100 ml of blood. Okay, clear? So this is about oxygen that I told you. Now carbon dioxide, that is also transport by blood, like from tissues it goes to the alveoli, and through alveoli it release into the atmosphere. Okay, so nearly 20 to 25% CO2 that will transport by RBCs, while 70% RBC carbon dioxide that will carried as biocarbonate. Okay, biocarbonate, do you know children what is that biocarbonate? Biocarbonate is a form of CO2, that is a gas that which left in your body when your body burns the food for energy. Okay, so that is biocarbonate. Okay, clear children? Now we'll see deeply about transport of oxygen. The transport of oxygen depend on the partial pressure of oxygen. Okay, if the partial pressure of the oxygen will high, then it can easily transport. I told you children, RBC, that is red blood cells that contain a red pigment hemoglobin, and hemoglobin can transport the 4 molecule of oxygen at one time. Okay, how it will takes place in our body? First of all, if the partial pressure of oxygen is high, then oxygen bind with hemoglobin and they form oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so oxyhemoglobin that are formed here. After that, the partial pressure of CO2, hydrogen ion concentration, temperature and other factors which can interfere with this binding. Okay, and these are also play important role in the binding of oxygen with hemoglobin, that form the oxyhemoglobin. Okay, then in the alveoli children, alveoli the partial pressure of oxygen is high, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is low. So the situation, the condition that is favorable in the transport of oxygen, because in alveoli lesser hydrogen ion concentration and lower temperature, so these factors are favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin, mean oxygen that will bind to the hemoglobin if the partial pressure of oxygen is high and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide will low, lesser hydrogen ion concentration and lower temperature. So oxyhemoglobin are formed there. When oxyhemoglobin are formed, they can easily transport the oxygen. Okay, in alveoli. Next, in tissues, a situation that is opposite. Okay, in tissues as compared to the alveoli, here partial pressure of oxygen will low and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide will high. High hydrogen ion concentration, high temperature. So these condition or factors are favorable for dissociation of oxygen from oxyhemoglobin. Means the oxygen molecule will dissociate from oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so we can say that children, this clearly indicate that oxygen get bound to the hemoglobin in the lung surface and get dissociate at the tissues. Okay, tissues में क्या होता है, वो dissociate हो जाता है और lungs में क्या करता है, वो bind हो जाता है. Okay, it depend on the certain conditions. Okay, that condition are necessary for the binding and other that opposite in tissue that are necessary for dissociation. Okay children, clear? So we can say that every 100 ml of blood oxygenated can transport around 5 ml of oxygen to the tissues under normal physiological condition. Okay, 100 ml blood can transport 5 ml of oxygen if the normal physiological condition are there. Okay, clear children? Now next, that is transport of carbon dioxide. Okay, transport of carbon dioxide is carried by hemoglobin. Okay, like 20 to 25% carbon dioxide which are transported by hemoglobin. So they form a component that is carbaminohemoglobin. Okay, when carbon dioxide attached to the hemoglobin, they form carbaminohemoglobin. Okay, here the partial pressure of carbon dioxide will be high. Okay, so in tissues we know very well the more binding of carbon dioxide takes place. Why? What's the reason children? Why in tissues the more binding of CO2 takes place? Because in CO2 the partial pressure of carbon dioxide will high and the partial pressure of oxygen will low here. That's why the more binding of carbon dioxide will takes place. Okay, and in alveoli we know very well the CO2 pressure is low and O2 pressure is high. So dissociation will occur here, means carbon dioxide will dissociate from the carbaminohemoglobin. Okay, clear? Next, CO2 which bind to the hemoglobin from the tissues is delivered at the alveoli. RBC have an enzyme that is carbonic anhydrase and plasma that also have an enzyme that is carbonic anhydrase. This enzyme that will responsible to form the H2CO3, that is a reversible reaction CO2 plus H2O into H2CO3, and H2CO3 then convert into the SCO3. Okay, like at the tissue site the carbon dioxide diffuses into the blood and RBC through plasma RBC and plasma, and they form HCO3. Okay, while at alveolar site the HCO3 will form CO2 and H2O because it dissociate. Okay, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide will low here. Okay, you can see here at tissue site CO2 that diffuses into blood and to form HCO3, while at alveolar site the HCO3 again return reverse to form the CO2 and H2O because the partial pressure of carbon dioxide will low here. Okay, so in last children we can say that every 100 ml of deoxygenated blood can deliver approx 4 ml of carbon dioxide to the alveoli. Okay, so here these are the way by which the transport of gases takes place. Okay, children, I hope you have learned very careful. You have learned whatever we have discussed. Okay, thank you.